Welcome to a menu screen of choice and wonder. If there's something you don't want to hear about, then why not skip to something that you do want to hear about? Possibly the most dramatic announcement ArenaNet has made is that it plans to now release new Living World content every 2 weeks. This bi-weekly content is going to take several forms, the first of which is new permanent regions of the map which will all have their unique storylines. ArenaNet has also announced that it will be creating new giant meta events similar to the Lost Shore release, which will leave permanent epic monuments about the world and will not occur more than once. A popular change for anyone who's played Guild Wars 1 is that there are to be many new festivals that will occur annually and will change slightly year by year, although remaining by and large the same. The final announcement about the game world is that ArenaNet intends to fix and refine everything about the world that currently exists. This is an extremely good idea because nowadays players tend to farm only specific events and specific paths in specific dungeons, and I'm greatly looking forward to see what they can come up with. The Guild Wars series has always struggled with progression because of its short leveling phase and extremely low gear cap. The addition of Ascended quality items to the game did rectify this to a certain degree because of their lengthy acquisition time, but it's highly unlikely that another tier of gear above this will be added to the game. So instead of anything like that, new skills and traits are going to be regularly added to each profession. This will hopefully add a lot more options in terms of character customization and playstyle. I would hope to see some focus on elite skills, because there's not a whole lot of choice available at the moment. My only concern about this constant flow of new skills and traits is that it will become increasingly harder to balance, and as we saw with Guild Wars 1, the system became very easy to exploit. Magic Find is going to be abolished to be replaced by an account-wide stat that will be increased by consumables found in-game and also the achievement reward system. This is going to allow you to still get the great loot you need without being a burden on your team by deliberately weakening yourself. The changes to the reward system focus on encouraging players out into the world and reducing the amount of random chance in loot. The most prominent of these changes is that completing the same dungeon path over and over again will no longer be as profitable as doing the other paths as well, as you'll gain bonus gold for each path you complete in a single day. And more importantly, the reward on completion of each dungeon path will be tweaked based on the length and difficulty of that particular path. Champion level foes are to have their loot system completely reworked, and will now drop a guaranteed reward chest for any player who has participated in the glorious battle. These chests will contain useful things like lodestones, unique weapon and armor skins, skill points and crafting materials. This should reduce event stagnation in high level areas, as currently champions at the end of event chains will often be left by smaller parties as they're simply not worth the time it takes to bring them down. As mentioned before, there is to be an incentive to go out into the world and experience more of the game content. This will manifest in an extension of the daily reward system. A new set of account-bound crafting materials are to be added to the game, as rewards for completing unique activities per day. In other words, completing the same activity twice will only yield one set of rewards. Crafting is to be added to with a heightened cap of 500 points, and a whole new tier of crafting materials which will be produced by combining lower tier materials. They will be used in conjunction with the account-bound crafting materials mentioned earlier to create Ascended quality weapons and armor. Although it will be easier and probably more efficient to craft the new Ascended items, it will also be possible to acquire them through drops throughout the world. Each material will only be able to be created once per day, so they retain a more constant value than other items. With any luck, this will help to regulate the prices of high-end equipment, as it will create a far more limited supply compared to the previous tier of exotic quality items. The current set of legendary gear is going to be expanded upon, with additional weapons and new types of legendaries. Legendary items will also be given a slight usability tweak, and their stats will be manually changeable to any available combination, so owners of a fine legendary won't have to spend money on transmutation crystals. The final major change announced is that legendary weapon precursors will no longer be governed purely by random chance, and it will be possible to create them with a distinct recipe, although it will probably still be possible to acquire them through drops or the Mystic Forge. level 500 crafting, and a wide assortment of other items acquired from specific game content will be required for creation. Thank you for any time spent watching, unless of course you're just watching the end, in which case I fear for your sanity. Please take a moment to rate, leave a comment, or if you're feeling extra awesome, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, here are 2 more that may entertain.